And then the tearjerker was when we honored our Horace Mann friend of education. He was the superintendent, Dr. C.J. Huff, of the superintendent of Joplin. He got up and spoke, and he had a PowerPoint with his students that survived, and some of them that were scarred because of their families missing and that. But it was definitely interesting to see how a community came together and worked for their students and that. So, and I sat back and thinking, well, that's what we're trying to do here, and we didn't go through half of that catastrophe. So I'm really, thinking we're lucky because of that. And then on our local level, we are trying to promote several contests to get our kids involved in writing. And we have the Martin Luther King Jr. Essay Poster Contest, which last year in the high school we actually had all 3 winners, first, second, third place. So I'm hoping that we have a teacher that will submit again and be that fortunate. And then also some information that Mrs. Joker sent me and I already had on my plate was from the Missouri Bar. They have a Law Day essay that from 4th through 12th grade can write an essay. And there's a criteria so that kids can pretty much know what is expected of them so that they can win up to $300 for that. And then also we have several teachers that have submitted through the MNEA mini grant that is sponsored by California Casualty to incorporate non-fiction writing into their classrooms and that. So I'm hoping we hear something from the mini grants here at the end of October. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Next we'll move on to the report of the superintendent, Mrs. Joker.
You'll see that we do have some notes of appreciation from several of our school family. Also wanted to comment on parent-teacher conference. We did have parent-teacher conference on October the 18th. Had really good turnout with our 2 elementaries. St. Genevieve Elementary has 98% of their parents contacted. In fact, only 6 students' parents, or 8 students' parents didn't make it to any sort of conference. So that was really good. Bloomsdale Elementary is 97%, also very, very high. Middle school had 64.8%, which is a good percentage for them. It was, I believe, down a little bit from last year, but still up from the year previous, so still looking pretty good. And the high school had 47%. Very, very typical that as students get older, parents attend parent-teacher conferences less often. Sure is not any less important. So, we want to encourage parents to, no matter if your kid's a senior, they still need you to be involved in their education. So those are very important. We'll do that again in the spring. And then Dr. Lindsay is going to discuss our disaggregated dropout and graduation data.
You have that information in your board packet. There's really not too much that's remarkable about it. Just as an overview, list for the last 10 years, the total number of graduates per class, and then the dropouts per class. And then it's disaggregated based on a variety of things, Asian, Black, American Indian, Hispanic, and white, and then also disaggregated for male and female. Smallest class of the last 10 years. Dropouts were up a little bit, but I think it's just a natural ebb and flow and not really indicative of any kind of program changes or anything that needs to take place there. So, unless you have questions, that would be all mine.
Anyone have any questions? Okay. Next we'll move on to unfinished business. And that's set the procedures for the annual school board election.
A little bit hard to believe that it's time to do that again, but it is time to set those procedures, and basically our school board election will be held on Tuesday, April the 2nd, 2013. We will put this in the paper so that everyone is aware of when the filing dates are. We do have two board members whose terms are expiring. That would be Mr. Jim Kirshner and Mr. Terry McDaniel, those two seats. A candidate would need to file in person and in writing according to board policy and state law. Filing will begin on December the 11th, 2012 at 8 a.m. and continue during regular business hours of 8 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Filing will end on January the 15th, 2013 at 5 p.m. Filing will not occur on days the school district office is closed due to inclement weather or on the following holidays of December the 25th and January the 1st. And I would ask the board if we could include with that December the 24th. The district office staff has all requested vacation days that day, and you know, we can ask them to come in, and they would do that. They've told me so, but I'm asking if you all would include December the 24th as well. So I'm adding that as my recommendation here if you want to write it in. Documents necessary to file as a candidate may be secured in person from the superintendent's office at 375 North 5th Street, St. Genevieve, Missouri. So we would need a motion.
I move to adopt the following resolution. Be it resolved that the Board of Education authorizes an election to be held on Tuesday, April 2nd, 2013, to fill 2 3-year terms as directors of the St. Genevieve Board of Education. Furthermore, the notice of election and certification of candidates shall be submitted to the county clerk in accordance with state statutes.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor by saying aye.
Roll call vote, please.
Okay. Mr. Ike Barzilay?
Yes.
David Bova?
Yes.
Charles Kravitz?
Yes.
Joan Dunsey?
Yes.
James Kirshner?
Yes.
Terry McDaniel?
Yes.
Nancy Smith? Yes. 7.
And when I put that in the paper on the press release, I will add December the 24th to that.
Okay, next we have new business, and first is the curriculum revisions.
Dr. Lindsay has that.
In your packet is information about the mathematics curriculum that was reviewed this summer and aligned to the new Common Core state standards. Group of teachers that's listed in your packet came together back in June and spent a week really going through the math curriculum with a fine-tooth comb to make revisions as necessary for Common Core state standards. Really did what I think is some excellent work. Did all the pre-work necessary to prepare for that. It's really a fairly extensive change in curriculum because of the Common Core state standards that were adopted. We presented that information to a committee back on November 8th, and people that served on that committee are also listed in your packet. The following pages in your packet list all the objectives by grade, and then once you get to high school by course. Really, in general, with Common Core state standards, it's increased rigor. It's a focus on technical reading and writing. In general, more nonfiction work. Basically, what we see is instead of it being a mile wide and an inch deep, it's more in-depth on fewer topics. And as far as the curriculum revision itself, it seemed like for the most part, in many cases, the objectives were moved down a grade level or were covered in more depth at that grade level. Committee felt good about the curriculum that was written. I think that, as I mentioned before, the teachers did an excellent job and really put in a lot of hard work this summer to revise the curriculum and make it what we need it to be moving forward. For the new APR, new M-Simplified, and Common Core state standards.
Anyone have any questions, comments?
I move that approve the curriculum revisions in mathematics as presented.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, next on the agenda is the assurance of the religious expression.
Yes, this is actually a requirement of No Child Left Behind, and I was recently at a superintendent's meeting where it was pointed out that we're supposed to certify this annually to the State Department. So in order to be in compliance and receive our funds through No Child Left Behind, we are certifying that we have no policy that prevents or otherwise denies participation in constitutionally protected prayer by students or employees. And I do certify that that is true, and we'll send such to the State Department.
I move to certify to the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education that the district has no policy that prevents or denies participation in constitutionally protected prayer by students of employees.
That's supposed to be
Or.
Yeah.
Sorry, typo.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Okay, next we have the bond issue refinancing. Ms. Wilkerson.
Yes, and I've asked Lorenzo Boyd of Stifel Nicholas to come and visit with us and explain to us what we're doing here. Had an opportunity to save some money, and Lorenzo came and visited with me about it, and felt like it's a good opportunity for our district, and I asked that he explain to you all now. Thanks for coming, Lorenzo.
No problem. Thanks for having me, everyone. I have a handout for you guys. You just love those, right?
Thank you.
You should recycle.
Yeah, pretty handout.
Yeah. Should they have my best side? That's great. As Ms. Jokers mentioned about a month or so ago, I approached the district. The district has a unique opportunity to refinance its 2004A general obligation bonds. As you know, in the past, we've been here and done refinances for you guys in 2007. And historically, we've entered the refinancing when the target rate was about right above 3%. And we've kind of looked at that as ideal situations where you can refinance some of your outstanding bonds. Well, the district has a unique opportunity now. The 2004A bonds, they were refunding bonds. So technically, they cannot be advance refunded again because they advance refunded the 1997 bonds until 2014. So the district has the opportunity either to wait until 2014 and refinance those, which is about 16 months from now, or they can take advantage of interest rates now and refinance those outstanding bonds with taxable bonds. Now you may say taxable bonds. The district has done taxable bonds previously. In 2010, as you recall, we did the taxable general obligation, the taxable Build America bonds, and the taxable qualified school construction bonds. Well, right now, interest rates are so low for taxable bonds that if you refinance your existing bonds with taxable bonds and not wait until 2014, because taxable rates are so low, right now you have the opportunity to save about 6.13%, which is well above our historical target that we've kind of identified for the school district going forward. The state of Missouri, when you refinance bonds, say you must save 1.5%. We've always set a target of 2%. The district has always set a target of about 3%. So about a month ago, I presented this opportunity to the district, and we were right above about 4.5%, and that's when I presented this opportunity. And I refinanced, and I kind of readjusted the rates currently, and I think that was back on October 17th when I looked at that original refinancing. And right now, the savings are about 6.13%. So as you can see, it's about $100,000 of savings that equals about $14,000 a year in general obligation bond savings up until now from 2020. So we presented this as a good opportunity to move forward with this refinancing. The alternative is to wait until 2014 and do it as a tax-exempt refunding, but the chance of interest rates. We don't know what interest rates are going to be at that particular time. So I wanted to present this opportunity. We've done this several times for several school districts across the state. And it's kind of a unique opportunity because taxable rates are usually not this close to tax-exempt rates. So historically, we would not have this opportunity to do this for you via taxable setting, but we've done about 10 this year for several school districts across the state. And a lot of school districts are taking advantage of this opportunity instead of waiting into their call dates, 16 months from now or 24 months from now by taking advantage of long-term interest rates that are at historic lows right now. So I want to present this opportunity to the district, see if they want to move forward with this and answer any questions.
Is this the stated rate, the 1.42?
Yes, 1.42%. So your state interest rate over the next 8 years or so will
And
be
it
1.
was like 7.55 before?
What's that?
It was 7.55 before the refi?
No, it was a little over 5%
Oh,
for the refi.
five, okay.
Yeah.
There is school districts opting not to take advantage of it?
I
And what was
haven't,
the rationale?
I haven't met one that has opted not to do it at this
Okay.
point. Yeah, I have not. I have 2 more on the table, but right now, if your refunding was, if you could refinance these bonds March 1st, 2013, I would say just wait and see what interest rates are going to be then, because we're so close to that time. But being 16 months out from now, interest rates could rise 50 basis points, which would make this refunding not work. So so most school districts, as you mentioned, once they have this opportunity, at a little over 4%, they're taking advantage of it.
I just would want to know what their logic would be.
Not to do it.
Yeah, okay.
Does anyone else have any questions?
I move to direct the superintendent to pursue the refunding of Series 2004A bonds.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor, by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I move that the Board of Education hold a closed meeting with a closed record and closed vote following the regular open meeting on December 17, 2012, to be held in the R.W. Thomas Library, 715 Washington Street, St. Genevieve, Missouri, for the purpose of discussing and voting upon the following items of business: legal action, causes of action, or litigation; lease, purchase, or sale of real estate; hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting particular employees; scholastic probation, expulsion, or graduation of identifiable individuals; testing and examination materials; preparation for negotiations with employee groups; specifications for competitive bidding until approved or published; sealed bids and related documents until the bids are open; sealed proposals and related documents until all proposals are rejected, or any documents related to a negotiated contract until the contract is executed; individually identifiable personnel records, performance ratings, or records pertaining to employees or applicants for employment; records protected from disclosure by law; records relating to municipal hotlines established for the reporting of abuse and wrongdoing; confidential or privileged communication with an auditor; existing or proposed security systems and structural plans of district property; records that identify and would allow unauthorized access to or unlawful disruption of the configuration of components or the operation of a computer system, computer network, or telecommunications network; credit card numbers, personal identification numbers, digital certificates, physical and virtual keys, access codes, or authorization codes that are used to protect electronic transactions. I further move that notice of this meeting and its tentative agenda be posted as required by law. A motion second, roll call, Eric Bosler,
Yes.
Dave Bova,
Yes.
Charlie Crowther,
Yes.
Joan Dante,
Yes.
Jim Kirchner,
Yes.
Terry McDaniel, yes, Martha Reesinger,
Yes.
motion carried, 7-0.
I move to go to closed session with a closed record and a closed vote after a short break.
Okay.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor, by saying aye. Opposed?